What is happening? Hello friends and nakamas, my name is Gomaron and in today's video we are going to have a look at the market of the One Piece card game. And as I am recording this on the 2nd January of 2024, I also thought it is a very good moment to give a recap of 2023 and everything that happened there, but also maybe say a few words of what could and or should happen with the One Piece card game in 2024. Now for this video I chose a few single cards that I thought that could be interesting to watch, as well as sealed product and also some promo cards. Now without further ado, let's dive right into it. Alright, here we are. So for this Market Watch video, just as my first video, I'm using Card Market. It's the European equivalent of TCG Player. And for all the Europeans that know the platform, I use some filters. As I'm a resident of the European Union, I am also only including countries from the European Union. I'm really sorry for those that aren't, but it's quite convention for us to just look at the prices of countries that are in the European Union, because if you have countries like the UK, they list the prices most of the times 80% of the others, because they have to compensate for customs, and that's just wacky to include. So yeah, that's for the filters of the location of the sellers. I just realized I think I have every tab in German. But okay, yeah, as we are only looking at graphs today, I think we are okay with it. And for the cards, of course, I am only looking at English cards today. So I have no idea what is going on with Japanese cards. Maybe there are YouTubers that are covering this kind of content. Here on this channel, we are concentrating on English One Piece card game cards. Okay, so this is actually the first card that I found where there is quite an increase. So this is the finalist Kobe, but it's not only for the finalist version, this spike. It's also, if I look at the reprints here, so that's a winner version, but also participants, they are also increasing quite hard actually in value. So that was really interesting. I'm guessing it's because of Sakazuki and Gecko Moria and everything that is to come when we are talking about black colors. Now, this one is also very interesting. This law here is the highest version that you can buy. It's actually the OPO2 film law. And he will be played in the new film deck once the new starter deck releases. So there's this Uta leader, green Uta, and with an entire film engine, and he is a key card. So yeah, that's what we see right here, and I am guessing this is going to increase even harder. So yeah, I mean, this is no financial advice, but I'm guessing it's going to increase. Then we have this first anniversary winner Luffy. Just such a high price for this card. It's really inflated, but then again, people are buying like crazy for 300s, and I also bought it now for 400 because it didn't decline. It just, maybe if we were all like patient enough, such that enough cards could have been on the market, it would have maybe dipped down to 200, 150 euros. But yeah, everyone wants this card, so we are now looking at 400 euros. Yeah, I do think it is a bit inflated, this price, but I'm also not seeing this card decreasing anytime soon. Maybe back to 300. I don't know if a lot of people want to cash in on that card, but I don't see this card below 300. As for Sabo, I actually think in terms of scarcity that this card should be higher than the winner Luffy, but it's only Sabo, it's not as a popular character. But the reason is, this Sabo, you could only win him on these sealed battle tournaments, which had a player cap of 8 players. Bandai. Why? Okay, so everyone wanted to get in these events, but only 8 players could get in, and only these 8 players could play for such an exclusive winner promo. Yeah, no idea why they did that, but that's what's happening, and that's also why we are looking at this price point, and I think this is going to increase. I personally think this is going to increase, maybe even quite hard. We will see. As for the winner kit, I bought him at 60 euros, I think, because I couldn't win a store championship, unfortunately. So I bought him at 60 euros, I think, and it seems like he's chilling there still a long time. Yeah, it's no rush for a buyout. There are just too many. Yeah, he's probably staying there very, very long. And to have a look at the Monkey D. Luffy from the Store Championship Volume 1, he is also quite consistent on this 500 euro mark. There were a few listings below, like 450, 440 euros. Probably some people that needed the cash. Yeah, but otherwise I don't think you need to list this card below 500 euros. The Treasure Cup Chopper had quite a new low point last month. Or actually it's almost 2 months ago. But he seems to recover a little bit. So if you are holding on such a card, you should definitely hold on a little longer, because I also think this is going to increase. I mean, this is probably true for every special tournament promos, you know, from online and offline regionals or treasure cups. So yeah, I mean, either you want to cash in or you just hold on to it to have the long-term value of it. Another interesting card is Gordon. Wow, this card had quite a ride. Because I think it was 2 months ago, maybe a little more, he was going in the direction of 25 euros. And then they spoiled the OPO6 cards, and there is that one card that does exactly the same thing as he does, also with the film trade. And the card crashed hard. Once this spoiler was revealed, Gordon plunged. I mean, down to 8 euros, I think. And then he got bought up. I also from me, I also bought like 4 or 5 copies. Just because I thought, well, 10 euros is a very good price. I'm taking that. Yeah, apparently I was not the only person that did that. So it rose back up to 20 euros. And now we are seeing it declining again. So that's actually pretty funny, I guess. Maybe if there's one crazy dude that wants to do a final buyout round before OPO6 releases. Yeah, but he has to sell all the Gordons very fast. I don't think that's a smart idea to do. So yeah, bye Gordon. He will be replaced by that one OPO6 card. This Kobe, however, I think could be a very good investment, because in OPO6 there's also this new Uta leader, red purple, I think, with the film engine. And the red film engine, yeah. So he's one game piece of that line. So yeah, I can see him go up. Maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure. I can't tell the future, but he's definitely a card to watch out for. Let's phrase it like that. This promo law also spiked quite hard, up to 10 euros last month, but yeah, he is a little cheaper now, recovered to, yeah, okay, this is only one copy, 7 euros, let's say 7 euros. This winner Luffy that you could get on the OPO4 pre-release events, yeah, also dropped. There was quite the hype around this card because he has the Land of Wano trait and is yellow, and with the Yamato from OPO6, which is green-yellow, there was a lot of speculation that he is a very playable card, so he spiked again, just like the One Piece community apparently loves to do, and now he dropped back to 60 euros. Oh yeah, the super pre-release winner Luffy is he's in a weird state right now. So actually I personally thought, yes, 1,000 euros is very cheap for such an exclusive card. Then he got bought for 1,000 euros, 1,150 euros, then 1,650 euros, then 1,000 euro again. And then this is probably a graded copy. And right now, the lowest listing is this 1,650 euros. So I don't know if this instant 60% increase in price is something that's going to hold long. But yeah, at least the value of this card is appreciated a little bit better now, I think. I mean, of course, 500 is way too much. But then again, only 20 listings. Yeah. As always, very difficult to say. Magellan. Yeah, Magellan also had quite an interesting road. But he's a safe super rare, yeah. I mean, he's played in every Pluffy deck. Interestingly enough, though, the alt art did drop quite hard. So I really don't know why, to be honest. Why the super rare holds so good up, but the alt art does not. It seems a little bit weird. I think he is actually a good card to buy right now, because purple with this new support will probably always have a little bit of a place in competitive deck buildings, and he is often a very good key card. I guess he is a good buy right now. For Rebecca, watch out for her, because she is clutch in OPO6. Maybe, okay, there are some voices in Japan that say that she probably should be restricted. So yeah, that would of course crash the price of that card. But as it stands now, this card is such an important card for every black deck. So yeah, definitely watch out for her. The alt art, however, is still at a 40 euro price point, and it's quite constant there, but it's starting to increase a little bit, at least if we look at this graph of the last 7 days, but that's of course not the best representation. What will, in my opinion, happen to Rebecca has happened to Sabo right now. Because he was a 7 euro card, and now he just spiked instantly to 12, 13 euros. And also the alt art just increased from 35, 40 euros up to 55, 60 euros. So yeah, almost 50% increase. So yeah, and my guess is this will also happen with Rebecca. So watch out for her. Now, if we have a look at a few yellow cards, they are also increasing like crazy. I mean, no wonder, because the spoilers that Bandai released of Extra Booster 01, the support that yellow gets, it's insane. There are cards that on play look at all your life and rearrange them however you want. Why, Bandai? Why? Ugh. Anyway, Sanji from a 5-6 euro card went up to a 10 euro card. The alt art has not been affected by this price increase that drastically, but it's probably going to in the next few days. So if you're fast, maybe you can get a few copies for 40 euros. Now, Sanji's alt art hasn't increased yet, but Cracker's alt art has already increased because he was a 20 euro card and is now up to 40, so like 100% increase, because the super rare has a 200% increase. I do think that this is a little bit inflated. Yes, he's strong, very good card in yellow, but I think it is quite inflated. This is not for an OPO3 super rare. Okay, wait, maybe because Marco was at 15 euros, correct? Maybe it's not inflated. We will see. Yeah, of course, the leader of Katakuri, the alt version, is increasing immensely. I mean, he was already very expensive at 130 euros, fluctuating a little bit, of course. But now he's at 160 euros. And I don't see another direction for him as upwards. At least not up to, I don't know, maybe OPO7 will get rid a little bit of the yellow color, but up to OPO6 and extra booster 1, we will have so much yellow. And what goes for the leader also goes for this guy. Jesus. A secret rare for 65 euros. I mean, of course, of all the secret rares, he's definitely the most playable. Maybe, arguably, with the 10 cost Luffy. Now, besides Luffy, of course, he is the most playable card. Sitting at 65 euros. And he was a 40 euro card. And also the 40 euros were already very expensive, so now it's even more crucial. The same for the alt art, from a 70, 80 euro card up to a 100 euro card, even more. But there's also a little bit of a good news, because when you remember the catastrophic start of the Starter Deck 10 release, which spiked around 55 euros for a starter deck, and you need 2 of them because Bandai can't give you playsets of new cards in a starter deck. You had to buy 2 of them for 100 to 110 euros. Yeah, thank you, distributor. Very nice. Yeah, the good news is this starter deck is, wow, 104. Junks Playground, okay. Yeah. You can get this starter deck now for quite a fair price, I would say. Now let's go to probably the most anticipated topic, because OPO5 is crazy. Actually, it's a little bit sad, we can't see it anymore, but pre-releases spiked up to 180, 190 euros. Then, of course, a lot of stores listed as the distributor confirmed how much they would get. They listed their displays, and it dropped down to 130, 140 euros. Then it went up again just before release, because everyone wanted the set and be safe to have it. Then on release, of course, it dropped to its lowest at 120, 130 euros, spiked immediately up to 150 euros. Then the second release wave came out, but apparently I don't know what happened there, because either the second release wave was just really short or really, really scarce, or distributors fucked up again, because this is just not normal. It should be a huge second wave, but prices did not decline. And now they are shooting up again. Now, it was expected that this set would be really, really desired, but I just think it is so overinflated. There's somewhat a lot of proof that it is a very inflated price, because You can just look at all these Poke Flippers that used to be in Pokemon only, that are now also in the One Piece card game because of this set. You can see unboxing videos on YouTube from Leonard or PokeRev, and I'm not judging those guys. I mean, they are also just doing content, but they have millions of subs. And if they all see that, they are also, of course, jumping on this train. And I guess that's what's happening here. It's quite sad that there was this photo, I don't know if people have seen it, but there's this guy in the US and he had a picture of 30 cases of OPO5 and he just wanted to sell them for all of those 30 cases for 90k. So just tripling his money actually in a few weeks. Yeah, but it was a store owner, and yeah, I think he destroyed his image quite a bit with this action. So that's just story time. Let's also have a look at the manga rares of the 5th set of One Piece, because since the product is so scarce, even with 2 waves, and I mean there's a 3rd wave that's coming, but at this point I'm not sure that's going to help the price. The manga cards are already spiking. There's only one direction for them. The same for Kid, just from 600, 700 up to 900 already. Now the crazy thing is with Luffy, because you could get him for 1,400, 1,500, and either someone has every copy of manga Luffy in their cart, or indeed the lowest listing is 2,700 euros. He hasn't been bought at that price point, but he has already been bought for 2,200 euros, a little bit less. So that's quite the statement here. Funnily enough, in Japan, the signed Luffy and the manga Luffy, they also switched ranking in their prices. So at first, signed Luffy, of course, was like the most expensive card, and manga Luffy was the 2nd most expensive card. But after a month or a little more, they switched. So manga Luffy was more expensive than signed Luffy. And if this continues, actually the same happens here in Europe, and maybe that's also the case in the US. We would need to check TCG Player. Yeah, it's crazy. That is actually not what I expected. But when we are talking about signed Luffy, we can also have a look at him. He's being sold for around 2,000 euros. A little bit more, 2,200. If you would want a perfect copy here, wow, listed as mint, very risky, but yeah, I guess 2,200, 2,300. That's probably what you need to pay for a perfect copy of the signed Luffy right now. Let's have a look at other sealed products. So OPO2 is still very high and is definitely not decreasing with the upcoming film deck, which will make the green film cards of the OPO2 very attractive again, which will definitely also result in an increase of the sealed product prices. So yeah, definitely watch out for these boxes. Also, with the inevitable increase of the yellow cards from OPO3, the sealed boxes are also increasing, and we are already looking at almost 140 euros for a sealed OPO3 box, which is in retrospect is actually insane, because it was a set that was just, it was so abundant. It was the 75, 80 euros set, you know. You could get it everywhere. And now it's already at 140 euros, like I said. So it increased almost 100% in only half a year. One Piece is so weird. But it doesn't stop there, because Kingdoms of Intrigue, same thing. It was the 80 euro set. You could get it everywhere. Now it's still cheap, but you can already see there is a trend upwards. And there's almost no box listed below 100 euros. So yeah, only 400 available items. Yeah, this number definitely decreased. Because I think 2 months ago it was like 1,700 almost. So like really, really abundant. But then again, if new players can't buy the newest set, they are probably going to buy the second newest set that is at least a little bit affordable. And then this price increase for the second newest set, OPO4, is, yeah, almost automatically happening. But we also have to look at the first set. Yeah, the price of 350 plus euros is still holding up. It is such an inflated price. It's unbelievable. The reason is, and that's almost proof, this set for the last 2 months, it's bought almost every single day. Almost every single day, yeah. It has been bought, but the available items for this set is just not decreasing. So people are just hoarding so much of this product that they are always only dripping like 1-2 boxes on the market, then it gets bought, and then they drop another few boxes on the market. So this number stays constant, but the price, well, it also stays constant, but there's still this tiny, tiny increase that is slowly creeping up its way to up to 400 euros. And yeah, it's wild. It's very wild. But people think they have to buy a 350 euro box. I mean, if you buy a single box, you won't pull a manga shanks. I can guarantee you that. They are almost always filtered. Maybe from retail sellers, they are not filtered, but from private people, I really don't want to accuse these users right now, but as a buyer, it's very probable that buying a single box from just some random person, it is a filtered box, you will never pull a manga shanks. So then you have to think, okay, what's the second best scenario? That you buy such a display and then you pull a Zoro leader or a law leader, and then you have like 300 euros at best, but you paid 360. So you're always making minus. So it's very weird. Now for cases, at least there you have a chance at pulling something really big. But then again, you also have to pay the premium price here, like 4,400. That's a statement, yeah. That is a statement. Oh, also first prints. Okay. Well, that's a big FU in the face of every player. Well, good business decisions. That I let him have, but maybe not so good reputation decisions. Anyhow, for the last part of this video, I wanted to dive into the sealed battle promos. So yeah, sealed battle, I already showed you the Sabo winner card at around 300 euros. But since it was such an exclusive event, one could almost say, I think these blue promo cards here are probably all increasing in value. That is, of course, if Bandai does not re-release them. But I looked at a few events from Bandai, and it really says Sealed Battle 2023 Volume 1 with the dedicated time frame. So one could assume that this really is only for this time frame. And also, this is participation, and it does not say anything of Volume 1 or however. So I would say you would get this leader pack for every sealed battle event that's coming in the future. However, this booster pack, it clearly says Sealed Battle Kit Volume 1. So, personally, I don't think they are returning these cards. Anyway, let's have a look at the cards. Because Usopp, well, he was at 8 euros and he's now at 12, 13 euros. A few copies left. Shanks, he's a little more abundant with 42 copies apparently, sitting at 7, 8 euros. So he's probably a card that one can buy right now very easily. Sanji is starting to increase, but then he's listed very cheaply. Okay, that's interesting. Someone bought this card for 15 euros. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Zoro is actually, I think he's a very playable card in blue decks. So yeah, and I'm probably not the only person who thinks that, because he's also increasing in price from 12, 13 euros up to 20 euros. Now we also have Nami, and she spiked really hard. I mean, yeah, she's also very playable, but I guess this is also the Nami bonus, because otherwise this is just really extreme. The same for Luffy, also with the Luffy bonus, but of course he is very playable in some blue decks. So yeah, definitely watch out for him. This leader is also probably very exclusive, at least in this form. He was at 18 euros at the time. Crazy. Now he's at 35, 40. And for Mihawk, he's actually decreasing in price. So yeah, maybe he's a card that one can buy right now. And the same for Arlong. He was at 10 euros, 11 euros, and now he's back to 6 to 8, 9 euros. And then there's Garp. Garp is 15 euros right now. And there are only, 11 copies apparently are left. And the reason is, when we look at the Sealed Battle Volume 1 pack. So these cards are all gonna get reprinted, so why bother with all these promos, right? I mean, you will get the live action collection. There are the cards that are going to be reprinted, so you don't need these cards, right? That's what one probably thinks. But if we look at this booster, it has 10 types in total. But now when we look at the premium card collection, if you count them, these are 9 cards. So one card is missing. And the one card that is missing is Garp. So unless they are not going to reprint him in some sort of way, this could be one of the most exclusive cards ever printed. So if you are watching this video on time, maybe you can buy it. So I don't want to influence the market. I saved some copies for myself. But yeah, this card could be really, really interesting. Because every collector will want to have this card, because it's a promo card. But if it's so exclusive, it will be really hard to get it. Now, as a last few words, I want to talk about the state of the One Piece card game in 2024. Personally, I'm not sure how Bandai should go about the older sets. I mean, what definitely needs to happen is that they need to increase the print run enormously. And I hope they can already fix that for OPO 6. But my guess is, unfortunately, I think OPO 6 will not make the right cut for the print run. Probably OPO 7. My guess is for OPO 7, they will definitely have figured out that they need to print everything into Oblivion. I mean, not into Oblivion such that there is just no more value in the cards, but just that you can get booster boxes for retail price on release date. That's all everybody wants. It's not more. That's the wish for every player. Now, for the older sets, it's actually a very difficult position. I mean, subjectively, I'm collecting sealed. I'm trying not to scalp. I don't view me as a scalper. Maybe I am. I mean, for people that can only afford one box and I have sealed cases, probably they look at me and also say, what a stupid scalper. But I try to look at this sealed product just as cards, you know. For me, this is long time investment. I'm not using the hype wave to make quick money. For me, this is long time investment, such that I can have in 10 to 20 years maybe, when there is a phase in my life where I really need the money, and I can sell these booster boxes for the actual market price that has developed in 10 or even 20 years. A healthy market, not an inflated FOMO scalper market. I guess that's the big difference for me. That is also the reason why I'm not really like anti-reprint, you know, just never reprint these sets again. I just think that also from a corporate perspective, Bandai has to be very careful and they can't lose their credibility with an action like this. The thing is this, I have the feeling that a lot of people, especially from the Pokemon hobby, that are just coming here into the One Piece card game, are moving with the hype, bought for retail, and are flipping for 3 times the money that they bought it. And with this money, they are then going to buy Pokemon cards. And that sucks. Maybe it's not only Pokemon, guys. I'm sorry if I offend you. Actually, what we One Piece players should do is we should, right now, where Pokemon is at its lowest, we should buy all the Pokemon sealed product. And then when Poke players are coming back into the hobby, and then they realize, oh, everything is gone, we One Piece players can sell them their Pokemon displays back. It's actually quite brilliant. Okay, jokes aside, I don't know how Bandai should handle this. The problem is, if they are now reprinting every set from OPO1 to OPO5, it's probably a good thing for new players. But for existing players, it's also bad. Because when you're a player and you have your altered sets that you bought for quite some money, I mean, also as a player and you are switching decks, you want to be able to sell these altereds even for quite some money, right? I mean, if a TCG is well balanced, that's the best thing about it. It has value, it stays. You can be sure as a player, if you spend 200 euros on a deck, even if you sell it and you are switching to another deck, you will get at least, I don't know, at least 150 euros back, you know, so, and you played it for an entire season, so there's some value to it. And that's a good thing, also for players, not only speaking from a collector's perspective. For a collector, of course, it's very good if value is holding, but it's also good for players. But if you spend 200 euros on a deck as a player, then there comes a company and reprints everything into oblivion, your former 200 euro cards are then worth, I don't know, 30, 40 euros? That's also a really hard hit for players. I don't know if that's really what players want. We can see that happening in Magic the Gathering. And Magic the Gathering is in the weirdest spot ever. So, yeah. It's a really tough one. It's only one man's opinion, but I would say it's probably best not to reprint. What Bandai could do, I mean, it would be, they would create the biggest shitstorm ever, probably. But what Bandai could do to get the flippers out of their reserve is they announce reprints. In 6 months, we are going to reprint every set from OP01 to OP05. And then every flipper is, is going to dump the products they have. Oh my god, Bandai is reprinting everything. Fast, I have to sell everything. And then 2 months later, Bandai is like, no, we screwed you. We are not reprinting everything. Yeah, but that was just some wild fantasy, because from a company perspective, you can't do that. That's just so unserious. It's only a wild fantasy. Instead of reprinting entire sets, I do think Bandai should reprint some key cards, maybe a little faster, or just simply at a faster pace, such as this new best selection collection that's coming out. I don't know the correct name, with a lot of events that are being reprinted. That, for example, I think is a phenomenal idea. It's just, again, a little bit outdated on release date then. So yeah, maybe increase this pace a little faster. Now, I'm sorry that I'm ending this video on such an unsatisfying answer, but yeah, I do hope you like this kind of content. I also want to apologize about my schedule of uploading videos. I've been, maybe a little bit lazy lately. So I did record a lot of openings, but I haven't uploaded the videos yet. So yeah, if you like to see some openings, definitely stay tuned for more of them. And yeah, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a good one. Bye bye.